getting in the game, it's about time. This is my time, this is my time. The only thing I consider impossible is losing. On the sidelines for a long time now, I'm finally getting in the game, it's about time. This is my time, this is my time. The only thing I consider impossible is losing. I've been waiting on the sidelines for a long time now, I'm finally getting in the game, it's about time. This is my time, this is my time. The only thing I
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to TD Fans Talk, home of the real Miami Dolphin fans. You guys hit that like button on your way in the building. Let your friends and family members know about the channel as well. Thank you so much for tuning in. This stream is being powered by BetUS. BetUS, you have an opportunity to receive a 125% bonus up to $2,500 when you sign up with BetUS using the link in the description of the video. You can take advantage of this bonus for your first 3 deposits now, okay? They have that promotion where you can take advantage of it for your first 3 deposits. You all are very familiar with BetUS, who has been an official sponsor of TD Fans Talk all season and now into the off season. As you can see, I want to highlight the fact that it is not just sports book only, as it does have all the future odds in the NFL, especially for the Miami Dolphins, but it also has the casino, it has the race book, it has live betting, 24/7 customer service, and 24-hour payouts, ladies and gentlemen. Take advantage of it now. Make sure you sign up. We're going to be having some discussions, especially with the draft. They have odds. They have draft odds. We're going to look into what they think the Miami Dolphins odds are and who they're going to draft potentially. We'll get into that as the show goes on. But again, BetUS is the official sponsor. Supporting them is supporting the channel. All right. Listen, y'all hit that like button. Here we are just after the 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Why is everyone trying to replace Tua Tagovailoa? And is Xavien Howard getting cut? We're going to talk about that and more. Christian Wilkins also potentially on his way out as well. Y'all punch that like button. How are y'all feeling, man? Let me check with the chat real quick. See how everybody's doing. All right, what's up, Vivian? Shout out to the Mod Squad. Shout out to all the members of the channel. Thank you all so much, as always. But guys, please hit the like button because they have not been sending the notifications out. But it's all good. Just punch the like button so that the notifications can go out to more people watching the channel. All right. But yes, listen, man, I want to get right into it so I don't bore you all and talk about this. You know, I know that I've been very vocal about, trying to upgrade at the quarterback position. But what I'm seeing out here now, I'm trying to figure out why all of a sudden are so many people seeing the light. Why are so many people seeing the light now where it's like, we need to move on from Tua Tagovailoa? Why is everyone trying to replace him all of a sudden? Now, everybody already knows where I stand on it, but why is everyone saying, hey, we need to keep that option open now all of a sudden? I think when it comes down to it, ladies and gentlemen, you either believe that he can win your Super Bowl or you don't. It's that simple. You either believe or you don't. And I want you all to put it in the chat right now. Let me know in the chat. Do you believe that we can win a Super Bowl with Tua Tagovailoa at the helm? Let me know in the chat. All right. Jermaine said, everyone not trying to replace Tua, but TD, you leading the charge. I guess you're right. Everyone isn't. But you know what I mean when I say everyone. Even you, Jermaine, I believe you can agree that national media and more people are coming out now saying, hey, the Dolphins need to move on from Tua and get, Penix or this person, or they need to do this or they need to do that. That's what's happening right now. That's a strong sentiment right now. Okay. Let me see here. Let me put this up. Somebody tweeted this today, and I thought it was very interesting. I thought this was very interesting. Okay, here's Twitter, okay? Let's look at Twitter. And right now, Pat Thorman, just a random person. Pat Thorman wrote that. Well, I guess it's not a random person. It got 48.5 thousand followers. I didn't know that. But let me see here. Ad established to run. I guess it's somebody people know then. I didn't know. I just saw it on Twitter and I read it and I said, wow, exactly. So the Dolphins have the league's fewest players under contract for 2024. Remember, I told y'all that. Okay. Dolphins have the league's fewest players under contract for 2024. And the second lowest effective cap space, negative 60 million. Second lowest behind maybe the Saints. Okay. I said Penix, I meant Penix, whatever. They've made 8 total picks in the last 2 drafts. No first rounders, 1 second. I want y'all to let that sink in. In the last 2 drafts, we've only made 8 total picks. None of them have been first rounders, and one of them has been a second rounder. And we have the fewest amount of players under contract for 2024. That's catastrophic, ladies and gentlemen. They have no third or fourth rounders in 24. Not the entire story, but not great. Because it isn't. It isn't. I want y'all to let that sink in, okay? The Dolphins have the league's fewest players under contract in 2024. And we're talking about the 53-man roster. This 53-man roster, we literally have over 20 to 25 players, maybe even more than that, that's not under contract, y'all. So when we say that the cap space right now is around negative 60, even if you signed everyone to a $1 million 1-year deal, it would be negative 80 plus million dollars, almost negative 90 million. Okay. Now they also have to cut some players, which makes this even worse. When we say we're going to cut Ogbah, now we go from 25 players not under contract to now we got 26 holes. We're going to potentially move on from Xavien Howard. Now we got 27 holes. You cannot have this amount of holes and have that little money. Usually you would think when you have the most holes in the NFL that your books are set up where you got the most money. That's how that works. Now, let me say this. The reason why a lot more people are getting on board with moving on from Tua, it's simple. It's simply because they realize We can't win with him now having everything around him. And our salary, our books are showing you that we can't make this roster really that much better than it is now. Over the next 2 years, we can't make this roster that much better than it is now. So what makes you think you're going to be able to win paying him 50 plus $1 million? And people didn't understand that because they think that we need to go replace 6 or 7 players, not realizing we have to go replace over 25. Seriously, that was in a lot of people thought process. Yeah, we're going to be losing some guys, but I think we can make the right moves and bring the right, 6 to 8 guys in. Not realizing we actually need to bring over 25 guys in here. And we're talking about cheap guys, y'all. Cheap guys. That's our reality right now. The only way that you can try to get back into a solid state, you'd have to hit on every single one of your draft picks, and you still won't be able to make up from what you're going to be losing. You'll have to hit on every single one of your draft picks, and you still will be short of what you'll be losing. You got a first round pick, you got a second round pick, you have no third or fourths, and you got a fifth, sixth, seventh, whatever. And the odds of hitting on those are slim to none. Your best bet is your first and second round pick trying to replace a player. But who are you going to replace? Who do you want your first round pick to go to? Outside of quarterback, when you look at the holes on the team, let's operate as if we keep Tua. Who are we going to replace with the number 1 overall pick? Is it going to be Connor Williams? Is it going to be Robert Hunt? Is it going to be Xavien Howard? Is it going to be a middle linebacker? I mean, who is it going to be? And not to mention, the elephant in the room is you still got to hit on it. You got to hit. This is why I don't believe the Miami Dolphins will pick at pick number 21. I don't think the Dolphins will pick at 21, ladies and gentlemen. I think that the Miami Dolphins may trade pick number 21 and try to get 2 second-round picks. I think that's what's going to end up happening. Because we need more picks and more shots at it because we have too many holes that need to be filled. We got one safety under contract, ladies and gentlemen. Javon Holland, who's going to need his new deal. Chris Greer did a number on this organization. How could you get to this position? How was this possible, ladies and gentlemen? You want to know how it's possible? It's possible because no egg monogamy. Raekwon Davis, Channing Tindall, Hunter Long, the other tight end. I be forgetting his name. And there's so many more. Brandon Jones. And the sad thing, you could just keep going. Larnell Coleman, Jared Dokes. Jury's still out on Liam Eichenberg. We ignore this stuff. That's how we got into this position to begin with. Because we failed at so many picks. Cam Smith, yeah, but I'm holding out hope for him. But we fumbled the bag on so many vital picks that we had to use draft capital and money to cover them up. This is what you do when you try to build around mid to cover it up and it don't work. And now the coup de grace is trying to pay mid. That's the backbreaker. Trying to pay mid. I think people are now waking up to the point that if you do pay your quarterback, the issues you have now will be tenfold in 2 years. Oh, but TD, the salary cap is going up $8 million more than it was. It was supposed to be. That is a 3% increase, ladies and gentlemen. And what you need to understand is the 3% increase is across the board, across the NFL. So if the market says the best tight ends in the league make 10 million a year, now the market value is supposed to be 10,300,000. I mean 10,300,000. That's what it's supposed to be. See, what people don't understand about salary cap is that when it goes up, stop looking at the number it goes up, look at the percentage. And that's how much the value of every position is supposed to go up. So when you put that $8 million all on the quarterback or the wide receiver, whatever you want to put it on, when you put all of that increase on one position to try to justify, this is why your linebacking core can't compete with the Baltimore Ravens, the Buffalo Bills, the Kansas City Chiefs, and teams like that. You got to go look at how the teams are structured. And the teams are structured totally different all across the NFL, by the way. But what you need to realize is there is a market value at every position. But if you subscribe to certain market values, it will set the rest of your roster up lopsided. Let me give you an example. I don't know the exact number today. I remember previous years, but the average, and this is a guess by me, but I know my numbers very well. The average team is probably investing about the average team, ladies and gentlemen, is probably investing about $22 million on wide receivers. The average team. Some teams, I mean, look at the Chiefs. They don't even they probably ain't even investing 8 million. They probably ain't even investing 15, something like that. But the average team is probably somewhere around $20 million they put on wide receivers. So when you look at our wide receiver room and notice that it comprises of over $40 million, you have to ask yourself, what room is it taking money from? See, people don't think of it that way. Oh, the cap's going up. Yeah, let's talk. We're taking about possibly $25 million put into over what the average team does at the receiving core. So when you do the math, who are we taking $25 million away from? Same thing at the cornerback position. The Miami Dolphins, they typically invest almost 40 something million in the cornerback position. And the league average at that position might be somewhere around 23, 24 for their whole roster. And somebody say we pay 25 for one. No, we pay 30 for one. So when you look at even the cornerbacks, we're about 15 million over the league average. So which position groups getting cut short? So, ladies and gentlemen, the position groups that the Miami Dolphins typically cut short, it's usually the O-line, with the exception going forward because they signed Austin Jackson. They cut short at the tight end position. They cut short at the linebacker position. Even though the way our system is run, we don't see that because we run the hybrid on the outside. But I consider those guys defensive ends. We cut ourselves short at the safety position. And now we're not going to be able to cut ourselves short at the safety position because a guy's going to need his money. And we got to find out who we're going to cut short for that. And then when the quarterback gets paid, we got to find out even more areas. Who are we going to cut short? And this is what people don't understand. Look at the Kansas City Chiefs this year. They went against the grain. I want you to really look at the Kansas City Chiefs. They can't be above the league average on the wide receiving core. They can't be above the league average at the O-line. They got rid of their two best tackles, which are the most expensive positions on the line, to save money. They cut their O-line short. They cut their receivers short. And they're still out here winning Super Bowls. This is why I tell you, if you're not out here winning Super Bowls, then what are you doing? And what's even worse for the Miami Dolphins, screw Super Bowls. We're not even out here winning a playoff game, and we're talking about paying players ridiculous amounts of money. Ridiculous amounts of money. And thank you, Jermaine. That's what's even more ridiculous about it. He said Tua hasn't even been paid yet. Exactly. That's what makes it even more egregious. We still got a quarterback on a rookie deal, loaded with all kind of high-paid players around him, and we still can't win a playoff game. Even worse. And now Tua's going to get paid. So what do you think the outlook of that is? And people are starting to see the writing on the wall. The people are like, all right, now we just need to fix the O-line. We need to get a big running back and maybe another receiver and a linebacker. And we ain't got money for not one of the things they talking about. And they thought that was all talk. And now here we are today and they realizing, oh crap, we really don't have no money. Even if we restructured and move and cut some people, we could come up with a little, but we got like 25 holes on the roster. We just got to fill them with minimum players. Like, I want y'all to think about that. Let's say we cut all the players we say we want to cut, right? And then we do all the restructures we want to do. And look at the Miami Dolphins are positive $30 million. Let's go shopping. What kind of shopping you trying to do with 25 holes, 30 holes on the roster? You could give all of them 1.3 million and you're done. Like, people don't understand that. The only way out of there's a few ways out of this situation. Number one, you got to start over at the quarterback position. That's why that Penix situation is intriguing, because now you got a low cap hit on a late first round, early second round pick where you're not spending any money on a quarterback for the next 4 years. Now you can afford everything. Not everything, but you can afford to survive and bring everybody back or replace them with solid players and start fresh. Or you keep Tua, pay him his money, and then you Just have less talent around them. Now, don't get me wrong, ladies and gentlemen. There's a way we can do it to where we can still have good talent around Tua this year coming up. But after that, there ain't no solution, y'all. After that, there ain't no solution. You're losing big time talent. There ain't no solution. Waddles might be a $30 million guy. Javon Holland might be a 20-some million dollar guy. You already done moved on from Christian Wilkins, probably. And these guys aren't signing and making the team better. They're just replacing what we already have. Tyreek gone, Waddle in. But he was already in. Now you got to hope you can find you a rookie that's just as good as Tyreek or Waddle. But it can't be in the first round because you're going to need that pick for Teron Armstead's replacement or Jerome Baker's replacement. Guys like that. AB said, look at Penix, injury history. Oh, yeah, I saw it. It's Tua reincarnated. It's Tua. But if we're going to sit here and give Tua $50 million a year, why not get Penix for $3 million? Like, y'all know how much late first round or early second round pick is going to cost, right? It ain't nothing but a few million, $2-3 million. So you have to take into consideration 50 versus 3. That's $47 million worth of roster that you can keep or invest in. It's a no-brainer. You know why? Because we're not going to sit here and lie and act like Tua's better than Penix or that much better if you even want to debate he is. Stronger arm. Just as accurate, which y'all always want to talk about the accuracy. This is the one prospect that's just as accurate. More mobile with the injuries. His entire highlight reel is tight coverage throws. Not the wide open Alabama stuff we had. He's left-handed. He is Tua. Injuries and all. Just a little more mobile and has played a season with great success in that season. Heisman Trophy winner, runner-up. And you know what he also got? The processing up top. The brains. He has the brains. Not elite post-snap processing, but really good post-snap processing. Pre-snap, he determines just like Tua right now. He does a lot of that in college. He can identify and predetermine where to go. But when things break down, he could also make plays. I'm going to be honest with y'all. If Penix is on the board when Miami picks at 21, and they don't take him, I'm going to tell you now, it's clear as day. It's just complete organizational mismanagement, which we know is going to happen, by the way. But they don't care. They don't care. They don't care. But it will cement what we were all thinking. Because let me put myself, like all of us, let's all put ourselves in the mind of the front office, Ross, Greer, everybody, right? They have to be looking at massive alternatives right now. I don't know if it's the quarterback position, but they have to be looking at certain things that are going to shock us all. And I'm not just talking about bringing somebody in like, yeah, we got Aaron Darnold. I'm not just talking about that. I'm talking about trading somebody who we never thought they would, or doing something drastic to acquire assets and or player and money They have to be, because there's no other way out of our situation. And I'm just curious, like, I wonder what the plan is. I wonder what the plan is, because they have to be getting ready to shock us all with something. And I'm not saying it's the quarterback, but it's impossible for them to not be looking for a way to put themselves in a positive outlook long term from this point on. And if they think that the only reason they weren't competing for a Super Bowl was due to injuries, then that means there are more incompetent people in that front office than we think. They're still chasing a ghost that don't exist. It's that simple. What do we do? What do we do? I wanted to shift to Xavien Howard real quick. Um Xavien Howard put a tweet up recently of Usher. I want to play this, okay?
Sometimes, man. Sometimes you got to leave. Sometimes you have to go away from home in order to be truly valued and appreciated and maybe find yourself. I mean, sometimes in the wilderness, you'll find something valuable and you come back and you can really enjoy it.
Did y'all hear that? He put it on his Instagram story too. Did y'all hear it though, the audio?
Sometimes, man. Sometimes you got to leave. Sometimes you have to go away from home in order to be truly valued and appreciated and maybe find yourself. I mean, sometimes in the wilderness, you'll find something valuable and you come back and you can really enjoy it. Sometimes, man.
I don't know what they're going to do about this Xavien Howard situation. They're either going to designate him as a post-June cut, which will allow them to use his money now. But I think the team has already notified his agent that they are probably going to designate him a post-June cut, because obviously he ain't trying to do no restructuring. And to put this message up, again, this could be about something else, but we're all going to insinuate that that's what this is about. So, if this is the end of Xavien Howard in Miami, this is why I do this channel. This is why I absorb the hate that I get for bringing you logical takes. Doesn't make me right all the time, but I give you logical takes, and sometimes I get crucified for them. What did I tell y'all 3 years ago? You know, the take that made me an idiot. How could you? You know, y'all remember the take I had about Xavien Howard 3 years ago, the one that labeled me an idiot? I told you, and not in a told you so, but I told you this was going to happen. But you also have to blame Chris Greer more than anything. I made it very clear. I said, I'm happy Flores don't want to give X the money. I don't think it was Flores, because Flores was like, they'll work something out. But I was happy when they were reluctant to give him the money. I told y'all, trade X and go get that first round pick now while he's worth it. Oh, you're an idiot. You want to trade the best player on our team. We in a rebuild. We're rebuilding. What are y'all talking about? Why do y'all always want to play great players while they're in their prime and we're rebuilding? Now, if we're going for it, then that's a different story. But we rebuilding. The only chance you're going to have is the 1 year at the end of the rebuild where we try to win a Super Bowl with them. You want to keep paying all this money for that one chance? And don't forget our quarterback Tua, so it probably won't matter anyway. And we just had that 1 year with the one chance where the roster was supposed to be done. Let's be clear here, ladies and gentlemen. Rebuild been done. Rebuild was done last offseason. And last year was supposed to be here it is. Here's the finished product. Last year was the finished product. Y'all thought that was just another step, and then this year we do all the polishing? No, it was done right before you had to pay everybody so you could see if it worked or not. And here we are getting sucked into being right there on the edge of the playoffs. And now we thinking we got to figure out a way to run it back because we had fun this year and we won 2 more games than we thought we could. Really? The rebuild is over and it failed. And now we're trying to run it back and take puzzle pieces now. Now we're about to enter the stage of what we've been the last 20 years. Y'all remember what we did the last 20 years? Rebuild over. Let me get that straight. Rebuild is officially over. Now we want to go right back into the last 20 years of, all right, well, we're going to get rid of him and then we're going to bring this in. Now we're going to trade for that, and then we're going to bring that in. We're going to pay that, but then to get rid of that. And just playing around, trying to figure it out, and it never worked. I appreciate it. My bad, y'all. But yeah, this is what we're talking about. This is exactly what I was telling y'all. And I told y'all then. And then we doubled down, y'all. We doubled down a year and a half ago and restructured them again. I'm like, and now look at us. Now look at us. Now look at us. And here's the frustrating thing about some of this stuff you can truly see coming. Like, it don't take this genius to figure it out. I'm nothing special. I don't have this intuitive. Some of this stuff was just common sense. You already had X in his prime. He can continue his prime, but based off of historical corners, he only got 2 more years of it. But you want to pay him like he got 5 or 6 years plus of it. And you went ahead and did it. But this is why I blame Chris Grier, because Chris Grier had the right intention. That's why he drafted Noah Igbenogany to replace Xavien Howard. But Grier failed. So what did he do? He brought in Byron Jones. So here we go with Byron Jones. Byron Jones' situation didn't work because of the injuries. And now we're talking Cam Smith. And now you have no choice. They're going to move on from X, and Cam Smith going to be thrown into the fire, and you better hope he ain't a bust. You better hope he don't bust out. You better hope he don't. You better hope he plays great football. You better hope it ain't them early career, he getting toasted every week. He's solid. He makes a few plays, but he gets toasted. We've been through this a million times, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, if you've been a Dolphin fan long enough, you remember the days where we went to go get Sean Smith and Vontae Davis. And then we talk about what's his name? Where his wife kept yapping. His wife kept talking. Oh, I forgot his name. Y'all will say it in a second. But we've been through this. Brent Grimes. Yes, I beat y'all before y'all commented it. So I remember. I beat y'all before you put it in the chat. Brent Grimes. We done been through this, man. You don't understand how Chris Greer set us up just now? Now we are literally right back in the place of getting ready to start our 10 years of purgatory. If he keep going down this rabbit hole. Like, it's just like, if he keeps on trying to make this square fit this circle, and this is his last chance right here, the final chance, ladies and gentlemen. This is his final chance to save us. And if he goes down this path to make that square fit this round circle, we are about to enter the 10-year Dolphin thing. We're about to do the Dolphin thing that we've always done. Whole bunch of 7 to 11 win seasons with no playoff success. 7 to 11 wins. He got a chance to change that trajectory right here, right now. Easily. But we all know that he's going to extend Tua and keep us in the same path. Now, here's the funny part, and I'm going to get out of here soon. We all speculating based off of like, when you think about what everybody's saying, he going to pay Tua anyway. If I was him, I would bring another quarterback in, but he ain't going to do it, and he going to pay Tua anyway. We are only all saying that. Omar said it. Everybody's saying it. He should bring in another quarterback or competition at least, but he ain't going to do it, and he going to pay Tua, and he shouldn't. He should make him play through the fifth-year option, but he not. We're all saying that because we already know how incompetent this front office has been. So we expect them to continue it. But the truth of the matter is, we might all get shocked. We might all get shocked. Be like, oh, finally he does something right. We might all get shocked. We all expected him to do the you shouldn't. We all expected him to do the thing that you shouldn't do. But this might be the first time we all get shocked because the writing's on the wall. Will he literally blatantly ignore it that bad? Yeah, but we might be shocked. We might get shocked. Oh man. I'm not trying to be funny. I'm serious. Y'all don't feel what I'm saying right here? Y'all don't see that maybe he'll get this one right and make the right decision that everybody knows he should make? And get out of his feelings and realize you may have the wrong formula going now. You were building something and it was looking like it was coming together, but you think he not questioning the formula at all? Because if he ain't questioning the formula, we're doomed anyway. Maybe this one time things change and we're like, oh my gosh, he actually drafted a quarterback. Oh my gosh, he actually traded for a quarterback. Oh my gosh, he actually could it be? Well, none of us had faith in that. None of us. But maybe the definitive no faith in it moment is finally the moment that he does. Because it makes no sense when you talk about being a responsible general manager. You can't go this blind into this thing and continue to keep covering your eyes knowing you got 2020, but you literally covering your own eyes. How else do you think we got in this salary cap situation to begin with? It means you have to cover your eyes on some things that you know that you shouldn't have done. Or you thought it was the good move, but you keep covering it up instead of just saying, I messed up, let me reroute. Instead, you're covering them up. It's ridiculous. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens, man. But I'm about to get up out of here. We got the Miami Dolphins roundtable at 6 o'clock on the AFC East roundtable. So y'all come through, check that out. Y'all already know what time it is on that. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Fins up no matter what. We'll chat again later. If I have time, I might do another show and do an open panel, bring people on. So we'll see. Love y'all. Y'all hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Let your friends and family members know about it as well. See you soon. Peace. I'm out.